Today we're talking about the ancient Bonnie Blue, Ninon de Lenclos. She lived in France. That's why it's a weird name. In Paris actually, and she was part of the upper class. Her family was pretty rich. They lived in a nice house, and her mother was a important woman in that time. Keep in mind, women didn't have many rights back then, and her mother wanted Ninon to marry a man, of course, because many Christians in that time, and it was pretty normal to get married. And if you got married to a man, you didn't have many rights. You were almost property of that man. You didn't get to say no. You had to listen all the time, and it's way different now. But there is a important thing. She actually was a same type of woman, like she was pretty much the same as Bonnie Blue, but at that time it was way worse to be having sex with many men and doing it in public, and she was also known for it. But the weird thing is, many men just didn't find it a problem, and they proceeded on, and they always also had a huge system. She made the men think they had a choice. You got a chance to get laid, actually, and this already displays the how desperate the men were. And actually, it was also in the 1600s, by the way, if I didn't told y'all. And like I said, it was way worse to be that type of person back then. And if you look at Bunny Blue, of course she is a bit worse, but in comparison, if you look at it different times, it doesn't have a there's not a big difference. And the weird thing is, right now, the men that are lining up for Bunny Blue, she did 100 men in one day, I think. That's crazy. But if you look at those men, most of them are just pathetic people. They don't get laid. They don't have the skills or the social skills or the resources to acquire a woman and keep her. So if you look at them right now, they are just pathetic men. Um, which don't get laid, don't get women. But back then, with Ninon, those people were actually really important people. They were painters, they were rich people, people of nobility. It was crazy, and the reason they finded her so attractive. Of course, she was good looking for that time, but another thing is she kept herself very mysterious, and the attraction just got bigger because of that. And one time she even disappeared. I've read in the books, and after she came back, the desire was even bigger. And actually, then she made that system. At first, she thought, "Why would I get married? I'm gonna just stay with different men." She also got all type of different gifts from those men, and she didn't have a problem. And um, yeah, as long as the men keep coming to her, who has a problem with her not marrying? Only God, of course. And it wasn't good. I'm not saying it was good, but this was the mindset she had. Why would she marry, right? And then when she came back from that disappearance, she made a whole system. So there were two groups of men. One group uh, get a chance to get laid once maybe in a year, but they have a whole week with her or a month. And another group, they paid the group that had a small chance of being for a week with her in a whole year, that was free. They just had to be friends with Ninon, and just had to actually give some gifts, of course, be a good person, but they didn't have to pay money. And the other group, they paid money, but it didn't they got sex occasionally, maybe once a week, once a month, when she felt like it. That's the crazy part. And they still paid to just have that sex once in a month, once in a week. And the other group, they didn't pay, but they were friends of her. And we all know, men and women, they can't be friends. they were just doing it for the small chance to be with her for a week. And to me, that's kind of crazy, because in that time, like I said, people were way more strict and way more Christians in Paris, and she still got away with it. So you would think, why not? Um, yeah, of course, like I said, God would punish her for those sins. Um, but it's kind of understandable, if you get what I mean. Why would she marry forced? Of course, Bunny Blue is a bit worse. Also, with social media, she is very popular. Back then, Ninon was popular, but she didn't have social media to scale the sort of business, and that led to her maybe having a dozen of people that were part of that system. But Bunny Blue, she can get thousands of men. I saw she also got arrested. Um, in Bali, I think, or another country, because she didn't hold up to the laws, which is crazy. But she got let free, I think, and she was also disrespecting the country. So I don't know how she got free. I would have never uh, let that happen, to be honest. But it's what it is. Um, France is a decent country, especially back then. They were pretty strong. I don't have I have no clue why people accepted that. We know in different countries she would have been burned alive, for example. So she got away with it. I don't know how. There's one difference though. Like I said, Ninon, she only had sex when she felt like it. But Bunny Blue, I have seen some clips where she says there's no one who she would say no to. So everyone who wants to have sex, uh, from the age of 18, I think. So even I, if I wanted to, I could have intercourse with her, which I definitely not want don't want to. Um, but yeah, that's it. To be honest, Ninon often said no, which is respectable, kind of. But she also had many men who she needs to like sleep with. So yeah, she wasn't really seen as a hoe because she didn't take direct money. It was more like gifts and occasional payments. So that's the thing. Maybe that's how she got away with it. But this does let us see, let us realize that men are pathetic nowadays. Just because they are desperate, and women are scarce nowadays. You need to. It's also a. It's also partly the woman's fault, because they have crazy expectations, to be honest. Like, you need to be 6'3". I'm like 5'8", 5'9". I don't know what they want us to do. Like, um and then also you need to make like 6 7 figures a year. That's crazy. Like, way above average, and they see this as the minimum. That's the crazy part. And often you don't even see them with those type of men. I don't know how it is in the US. In the Netherlands, it's doable, to be honest. Like, it's doable. Um, but yeah, this also let us see, like, the men go beyond their morals and beyond their standards and all their, like, their religion even, to just get that little reward of having intercourse, ejaculating, the dopamine release. Like, of course it is hard to work on yourself, but I don't know. I'm pretty religious. Like, I would never do some stuff like that. Bonnie Blue, especially, like, she's like I said, 100 men in a day, not a year. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. I would never do that. But Bonnie Blue didn't invent this, so it has been going around for like 400 years. And who knows, maybe before her there were even crazier people. Also Cleopatra, her history is also crazy, which is it's very interesting, to be honest. um but I could make a separate video on that. I'm pretty into history at the moment. I find it interesting. I like to read books. So yeah, that's it for this video. Leave a comment on what I which videos I should make next. And yeah, let me know. Just let me know. Let me also know what you thought of this. Did you expect this? When I read this, I thought, how did she do this, and how did the people accept it 400 years ago? I don't understand. I thought it's a thing of now, but like apparently men were crazy back then. And she wasn't even a noble person. For can you imagine if she was a queen or a princess? Like that would have been crazy. Yeah, that's it.